What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're gonna bring you a video about how to tear down the front and rear struts on this 05 S2000. Today I'm joined with Brian.
I'm back.
Today he'll pretty much be doing the how-to procedure, and I'll be the hands-on guy. That way you can hear Brian's voice, and you see me tearing it down as we go through this together. So put your headphones on, grab your tools, and start tearing this up.
Yep. All right, so what tools are we gonna use, Bruno?
All right, come take a look. So what tools I'm gonna be using today to do this job, starting with 3/8 sockets, we're gonna be using a 10, 12, a 14, and a 17. Now 1/2-inch sockets, we're gonna need a 19 and a 17. We're also gonna need some extensions, some 3/8 extensions. We're gonna use this combination wrench to break out a couple bolts. And then looking at the electric tools, you don't need electric tools. You can get by using manual tools, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna use electric tools. We got 3/8 ratchet, 1/2-inch gun to take out the wheels, a 3/8 impact gun. I'm gonna be using a swivel extension with a 14. You'll see why when we do the driver's rear strut. And also you will need a lot of light because there is tight spaces in this S2000. All right, so let's get started. We have a 2-post lift. The car's already up in the air, secured and balanced. If you don't have a 2-post lift, you can get around with jacking up the car on one side. Just make sure you're being careful. Make sure you have a good lift point. Make sure the car is balanced. Make sure you put a jack stand for extra security, and so you can never be too safe.
All right,
Brian, what's the first step, bro?
The first step is obviously to take off the wheels. We can't take off the strut without taking off the wheels. So get to it. The next step is taking these 2 nuts off. Warning, do not take the middle one off. You will be hurt.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Insert meme.
Let me take off the 2 nuts. Keep this somewhere, you'll remember. I'm gonna put it on the cowl.
All right. We're gonna lift up the car, that way we can show y'all a better view of what we're gonna be taking off. All the nuts, all the... Berto, lift up the car.
Right.
Let me show you something. You see this bolt right here? This bolt right here? We gotta take it off. Berto, take off that bolt.
Let's put this bolt back in so we won't forget where it goes.
Now, since we're gonna be removing the upper control arm, we're also gonna get this bolts off. It's another 10. That way we have enough slack on that line. That way whenever we pull the knuckle back, we won't tug on this line and break it or damage it. So let's go ahead and take that 10 off.
Again, I'm gonna put this 10 back in, so I won't forget where it goes.
Now, the only thing that's left are 3/17s, obviously the 2 on the upper control arm, and 1 that's gonna be down here for the strut that's holding it down to the lower control arm. So we're gonna be taking that off. All right. Off. Now with that loose, the only thing that's left is gonna be the 2 17s on the upper control arm. So also take them off. Be careful whenever you take the last bolt off. This is gonna want to lean back on you, so just be on alert. I just hit that's okay.
All right, I'm gonna break loose these 2 17s on the control arms. Loose. You can loosen them all the way, but for the sake of time, we're gonna use the electric tool. All right, let's hold this knuckle down. All right, now what?
The only thing that's left really is just to remove the strut. So just make sure you have a nice grip on that knuckle and remove the strut. Make sure when you're removing it, remove it away from somewhere.
It's out already, dude.
We're gonna be installing these coilovers. So same way it came out.
Bro, you're not gonna help me? All right.
No.
For real, you're not gonna help me?
It's a very simple process. You just stick it up.
There we go. Just like that.
Easy as 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna be putting those upper control arm bolts back on.
So make sure if you're alone, make sure you leave them somewhere nearby, not somewhere across the shop or across the room. Want to have them close because you don't want this hanging for too long. I got mine right here. Start sliding them in. You don't have to tighten them just yet. Just slide them in. Just like so. Let's get the other side. Just like butter. Remember, hand start everything, or else this 10-minute job will turn to an hour job.
So there is a fuel line on the driver's side. That's why we're gonna be doing this side, just to show you how to get past that fuel line, how to take off the strut. The passenger side is gonna be easier, so we're obviously just gonna film one side. So, yeah. Since we're already here, we might as well just take off that lower control arm bolt from the strut, same as the front. So,
Here we go.
now we're just gonna drop the vehicle, show you the rest of the process from that point of view. So now we're gonna remove the covers. They're just held by clips. You can just pull them. Luckily, this one didn't have any clips. So this is what we were talking about. You see all these fuel lines and fuel things, components. All right, so obviously there's a bunch of fuel lines in the way, but as you can see, there is that nut. There are gonna be 3 nuts on top of this strut, same as the front. Do not loosen the middle one. It is very dangerous if you loosen the middle one. You are just gonna need to loosen the ones on the side. So we're gonna put a swivel socket on an extension, and then we should be able to knock those 2 nuts off. So.
All right, so this is the setup we're working with. You can see we have a little bit of wobble right there that will give us enough room to get to those 2 nuts on top of that strut. Let's get to it. Let's get a magnet. There's one. There's 2. This one might be tricky, so you might have to go fishing for it, but you'll get it.
Now this is the easy part. We're just gonna slide out the strut.
We?
We, I, he. Now, install your new parts. Easy part.
All right, and just like the front, install the rear struts in reverse order.
Oh, wait a minute.